Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 413.
413.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. If you're looking to, we're going to be talking all about the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World this week. Mm-hmm. If you're looking to travel here in the next 18 months, because that's how long the event is, check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. But not only for Walt Disney World, but Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, they specialize in all cruises, and really just wherever you'd like to go.
And the first place we'd like to go is actually out of this world here at Epcot.
Space 220, which just opened, and you were at the grand opening. And we're going to be going there next week as well, so I'm looking forward to it.
And let me tell you, this exceeded all my expectations. I can't wait to go back. And here we are at the Mission Space Pavilion and Space 220, their dedication ceremony.
Right, and so this is a Patina Group executives here, plus the new ambassador. So Patina Group has other restaurants like Edison, Via Napoli, Morimoto Asia.
Some of our favorites.
Yes, some of our favorites. And Marie and Enzo's and so many others.
This was quite the smoky celebration.
It was,
here.
Yeah. I heard you had some stuff being taken off you afterwards.
Yes, when I had all that confetti just happened to land on me, so it was quite interesting trying to not move while I couldn't see because it was blocking my eyes. So thanks to my friend Matt who helped me out. And here we are. It's a little calmer now, going into the main lobby of Space 220.
And this is because you went back a little bit later before
right.
we
shot
the big
this a
crowd.
little out of order. Yes.
I mean, there was a multi-hour line afterwards, but
yes.
Now you can get a reservation and actually dine in the restaurant. I think starting today, actually, you can have a reservation for today. So that will make it a lot easier. It's been very popular. And you're entering into the space elevator in a second here, right? Oh,
well, you have to check
get the boarding
in. You
pass.
check in and you get your boarding pass, and you're going to the Centauri space station. And it's a nice little nod to the Brava Centauri space station that used to be featured in the Horizons Pavilion, which was right here.
And Horizons Pavilion was a very long time ago. I still remember as it was being taken down. That was 20 years ago.
Well, it was interesting because you would be able to choose the ending, and one of those endings was the Brava Centauri. Mm-hmm. So anyway, now we're going into the space elevator, and this reminds me of so many things, including Mission to Mars. I think before that it was Mission to the Moon, and the hydrolator from the Seas Pavilion as well.
And again, I have not been here yet. I'm really excited to see it. Jeff was raving about it when he got home.
Well, here we are. We're leaving Epcot.
220 feet,
miles.
Feet.
220 miles.
220 feet up.
But what a shame that the cloud cover blocks the new area of construction there.
Oh.
So that would have been nice to see what was...
You can't see Club Cool.
You cannot, no.
And you haven't even been to the new Club Cool
yet. Not yet. There's always a big line there. So look, we're going up, 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 up in the elevator on our way to the space station Centauri.
And what did you like about the elevator otherwise?
It just, it was very nostalgic. It brought back a lot of memories of this kind of thing. And this is the best done of all the versions I have seen. You're also going to see, when you pan up above, you see where you're going. And you see the space station here. And we're about to dock into the space station and enter it for our lunch.
I mean, this is a table service restaurant. It's a prefix menu, and it's not an expensive day out, but it's an experience.
It's a special event experience. Well worth it, though.
And that's what
I would
Jeff
want to
said.
go here on my birthday or on a special event. Absolutely.
That's what you had said.
Now, this is a nod to the Land Pavilion. The original Land Pavilion had something like this. From NASA. NASA had sponsored this many years ago in the 80s.
Well, they said this, they call it the grow zone of spinning produce, that kind of, it's supposed to show you what's going to be, I guess, in your food.
In your salad.
Yeah, your fresh salad.
So here, everybody is happy to seat us. We're talking, they asked me how my ears were, if my ears popped for that from that long elevator ride.
Did
They say
it?
it's much. You get used to the coolness of space.
And I just want to mention about the produce also. It's probably kind of the produce that's in all the food, not just like necessarily a salad. And here you are walking in. There's not very many.
This is
people
literally
here
this is
at
the first time I have seen this with my own eyes. There's our table there to the left, right in center. So it was a great spot to look down back at Earth and observe the weather and all of that from up above.
Is that what you're doing?
We were
You're
keeping
checking
an
out
eye
the
on
weather?
things, making sure Florida was looking good. And as you look around, you could see there's other things happening out the windows as well.
Well, they call it like the panoramic views of Earth. When we're going, it's going to be around sunset time. So we're going to kind of see the day turn into night, which is really what we wanted to do, just like at Disneyland Paris and the Skyline Lounge.
Right. Very much like that. And I love the fact that it changes. You're actually going to see it turn from daylight to nighttime. So hopefully our timing will be correct. I think it will be just correct when we go back there next week.
Did it really feel like you're kind of up in space? Like,
What do you mean feel like?
you're really there.
Yes, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you look out the window, you see these various space stations going around and other things of interest too. I think we're going to see a little lightsaber action coming up, and here are some astronauts out there.
It's really cool looking, and it'll be interesting to see in person. There's a little lightsaber. You did see. You know what? I didn't even realize that you saw them.
I did. Absolutely, I did. You can clearly see from the video there. Lightsaber duel.
I didn't.
It's
the whole
featured.
video ahead of
It's
time.
featured on the thumbnail on the front of the video that you and I both worked on.
Well, I did. All I did was label it, so I didn't even notice that. Anyway, you can look at the video. Like, there's actually a full video tour of the restaurant, so this won't be quite to that level.
Right.
So this is a menu.
Lunch menu.
For lunch, it's $55. You get one lift off, which is an appetizer, and then a star course, which is an entree.
Or you can do a supplemental $18 extra and get the lobster.
But that's a cold lobster. It's 18 more, but it's not like you get two items. You get the one.
Yeah, you're
lobster.
upgrading to that.
And there was some confusion over that.
Yeah, I had confusion over that.
So, and then of course there's drinks. There's drinks that are both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. They also have a children's menu here.
And you can see a very nice setup here. We're looking out again in space, and we're going to take a look at the drink menu.
So there's a number of alcoholic drinks and then a few of the zero proof cocktails. We're first looking at the Atmos Spritz, and that includes New Amsterdam, blood orange, and then orange juice Prosecco, and a cotton candy cloud, which is...
You just saw that cloud.
Yes, and that looked really interesting.
That packed a punch, by the way. Nice drink there.
And so you have not had all of these.
No.
There is also the Moon Rocks, which is non-alcoholic with coconut, blue coconut candy syrup, lemonade, and Moon Rocks.
Well, what is interesting is it's actually a full Pop Rocks container is put into the drink. So you're gonna watch it. I'm gonna do a transition here. You could see the Pop Rocks kind of popping along in the drink. Matt had that and he liked it. He finished that whole drink. Yes.
I don't know that. I think when I was like 10, I definitely would have gone for it. But I don't know.
This was the Stargarita, by the way, which I had, and again, I really like that one. Here's a nice view of all of our drinks.
And the Stargarita includes house-made agave sour. And then we're starting to look at food now.
And these are the lift-offs, the appetizers.
And this is the Big Bang Burrata. Did you try this?
I did. I tried a little bit of all of the appetizers, but I had mostly the Starry Calamari, which was wonderful.
This is the Neptuna Tartar. I don't eat seafood, so I know you really like this one as well. And there is the Starry Calamari, which we're going to be looking at.
That's yes, you're going to see that in its full force. This was fantastic. I love the sauces that went with it as well.
And while we're looking at what you all did have, there are several other items that you did not have, including the Centauri Caesar salad, the Space Greens, and the Galaxy Grain salad. I noticed none of you had a salad.
Well, here's that Blue Moon cauliflower, which I did try, and this was great. Very good as well.
Tempura fried cauliflower.
Fried cauliflower.
With the house-made hot sauce and blue cheese dust. That actually sounds, pretty good.
I would get that again. Yeah, it was very interesting. I think you'd like that.
There's so many. There's actually
look at the
quite
presentation.
A few options.
This is the salmon. And when this happens, the whole area has this wonderful smell of the salmon. It is very appetizing, let me tell you.
That's called the Blue House salmon with glazed carrots, king oyster mushrooms, baby bok choy, ginger. It looks
very smoky, very nice.
And then you also had, I think this is the flat iron steak.
It was. Mm-hmm.
If I had lunch here, this is 100% what I would order, with the coffee space rub, smashed fingerling potatoes. So they didn't look smashed, and then roasted garlic. And this is your Galactic Lobster Globe.
You would be surprised just how much there was a massive amount of lobster in there. And you know me, I'm a big lobster fan. Mm-hmm. No one else at the table wanted this. We mainly ordered it for photos. I ended up eating that whole thing as my meal. As you know, I was so full. Mm-hmm. No dinner, no nothing for the rest of the day.
Yes, you were.
It was fantastic.
Really enjoyed that. So that, again, supplemental $18. So 18 more than the 55 to have that one. It's a Maine lobster salad, mm-hmm. where at night it's not a lobster salad. It's actually like a lobster, I think, stuffed with crab. I don't have that
right.
menu in front of me.
We'll have to try that.
I haven't even been in here yet, so I'm trying to do my best with not yet myself.
What is your impression
visited.
just looking at the video, just seeing how everything looks?
It looks beautiful. So it looks beautiful. The food looks good. But again, video is great, but it's not 100%.
It's definitely a place that you need to be there for.
Well, in about a week or just over a week, we're going to be doing that.
I think this is the best thing to come to Epcot in a long time. It reminds me of old Epcot, classic Epcot. Just a very, very nice experience. And here we are. We're taking the Stellarvator back down. Space elevator.
And you did say that. When you go home, you were like, this is a great addition to
right. As somebody
Epcot.
Who was there from, the opening day at Epcot and everything, this reminds me of 80s Epcot, mm-hmm. classic Epcot in a way.
And so there's a 2-course lunch for $55, and then there's a 3-course dinner for $79 plus tax and tip. So all of that is... it's like an inclusive type of a meal.
We've got some more clouds now on our way back. You can see the weather is kind of coming through Florida, but all is well. It was a nice sunny day once mm-hmm. we arrived back onto Earth.
So if it rains, does it say, "Oh, it's raining out"? I don't think so.
I haven't had been there in the rain, but we had some clouds. There weren't this many clouds. Although unfortunately, the cloud cover still managed to cover this area here, so I can't see what's going on with the construction.
Yeah, and again, you'll have
those clouds.
Maybe you'll make it to Club Cool when you're at Epcot on Wednesday.
Yeah, I have to have some Beverly. Celebrate 50 years with 50 drinks of Beverly.
I was a little disappointed with the drinks. I didn't like.
The
there
drink
was nothing.
Selection?
Yes, but you were not disappointed at all with Space 220. And again, I'm counting down the days.
I was surprised at one aspect of this.
What?
No gift shop.
No gift. There should be a gift shop.
I did not see it. Maybe there will be one, but I was ready to maybe get a commemorative item.
Well, restaurants don't normally have a gift shop necessarily into themselves. Although, if you go to Maria and Enzo's, they do
right.
have a little gift shop, so that could eventually
Patina
come.
has spoiled me for these things.
Some of our favorite restaurants are from Patina.
And before we leave Epcot, we're going to take a look at one of the Fab 50 sculptures here, and it is Figment.
And we're going to be looking at ones from the Magic Kingdom as well. I think Epcot has my favorite set of sculptures overall, although the Magic Kingdom has the most.
And we will link to the sculptures. We have all the sculptures from all 4 parks have been posted now.
Yeah, we finally have photos and video online. We also have been posting a vintage set of photos from you every week on Mousesteps, and you're going to have a more personal one with photos of you through the years, and that will be up probably tomorrow.
So now we're here on our way to the Magic Kingdom, and we have a 50th Monorail wrap coming along on Monorail Gold. And
it's only on part of the Monorail, unlike most of the other wraps, and not all of them. The Toy Story 4 had a partial wrap. I prefer a full wrap, but I guess I get what they're going for, because it's gold is the main kind of color of the 50th anniversary. Right. but it would be nice to have really kind of that full wrap going on.
And up close, it's great to see the characters like this. If you happen to be waiting to board the monorail, I think we're going to see Chip and Dale in their anniversary outfits there. And we haven't seen them in person yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I mean, October 1st is the big day, and we are scheduled for the Magic Kingdom, I believe, on that day.
I do have to mention one thing about the wraps. You had mentioned you wish the whole monorail was wrapped. You can see a lot better when it's not wrapped.
I know.
So, you can, at least this way you have an option. You can still take Monorail Gold and see if you sit in the middle.
So here's Mickey and Minnie with their 50th anniversary cake. For 50 years, it's not a huge cake. But
well, maybe the pieces are in the back, and we'll all get little pieces of cake.
I'm sure.
Like in other anniversaries.
Yeah, that's not happening. So I know there's going to be all types of different food items from the past. So, and I haven't seen like a full press release on that yet. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. So, of course, you've got the world's most magical celebration. There's now 50s.
I was going to show you, between last week, just less than a week, and yesterday, they have added 50s to the flowers. And look at this, the Main Street Confectionery, about to open in just a few days.
Now sponsored by Mars.
I saw, yes.
And so there's going to be a lot of M&Ms. If you're looking for fudge with M&Ms and pretty much everything with M&Ms, I think that's going to be possible.
Well, we just did the Boo Bash and the Oogie Boogie Bash, also sponsored by Mars. So we have lots of that candy in the house.
And they've been sponsoring Mickey's Not So Scary for a number of years now.
And you're looking at the giant Citizens Watch with the 50th on Main Street there.
And so now and there I am making a cameo in the background. So you can see there's like these jewels now on the banners.
And we're looking at some of the 50th anniversary Fab 50 sculptures with Chip and Dale here.
And there are 19 sculptures in the Magic Kingdom statues. So Fab 50, I thought there were going to be 50 statues, but it's actually 50 characters. But the Magic Kingdom by far has more than, like, Epcot has like 6. Here's Mickey and Minnie, but they have moved.
They have moved. We're looking at their original location, and now they're updated, which is much better because you can get a picture of them with the beautiful castle in the background like this.
And the beautiful sky because, once they moved, you got a nice blue sky in the background.
Yes, the weather got much better.
Much better once Mickey and Minnie are in place.
That is a true statement.
So, yeah, Mickey and Minnie here. We have...
This is what the location was with Goofy and Pluto.
A lot of classic characters here. Jock and Gus yesterday were not spottable because all of a sudden there's like these trees and I'm not sure what the trees are for. But
and these banners are new with the Cinderella scenes here.
It's like there's so much Mary Blair going on, and especially we're going to talk about Disney's Contemporary Resort today as well. I think they had some kind of a taping today, which is why...
You saw the stage being temporarily put in front of the castle.
Right, I think for that taping. And so the Cinderella Castle... the coach is now on, I think, all of the...
Yeah, they've replaced all the Mickey pumpkin wreaths.
Yes, and I think last week they were not replaced with all of them.
Now, I'm not showing all the statues, not even close, but this one was a favorite of mine in Adventureland. It is the orange bird. He's hard to spot, but the payoff is worth it.
I wish he was a little bit more out in the open. He's kind of just...
He's really hidden. That's why I wanted to kind of show this in case there's any Orange Bird fans, which I know there are.
It's not quite as nice a background as some of the other ones.
So let's see. Oh, so next we're going to talk about the Contemporary Resort. They have had a new updated lobby unveiled.
I was really impressed with this. So not all of the lobby, but some of the lobby is inspired, of course, by Mary Blair, including you have the 5-legged goat up there, another goat, and a variety of different shapes, different animals on this one pillar.
Well, it really fits. It really completes the whole look of the Contemporary with the Grand Canyon Concourse up above. It's nice to have all of this classic Mary Blair looking artwork.
Well, I wrote an article about the updates. So if you look on Mousesteps, there's going to be a little bit more of a description of some of the artwork. We're looking up where some of the items came from. Of course, we know this is, a Mary Blair inspiration or the artwork from Mary Blair. But, and of course, from the 4th floor, the Grand Canyon Concourse. But there's also a variety of other artwork in the lobby.
And you just saw a not so hidden Mickey here. And here is a look at some of the seating area. There's lots more seating area down here in the lobby. As you could see, this used to be one big long check-in counter, and now there's only 3 small counters, and you have all this room with tables and everything to relax. And you can see this is it really for check-in. Most guests nowadays, I believe, do the self-check-in anyway.
Well, it's not only the self-check-in, but there's also, they have a lot of iPads. So sort of like some of the other resorts have the iPads. And you can see this is sort of, to me, a Mary Blair inspired, like if you're looking on the 4th floor, artwork with a monorail coming out of Disney's Contemporary Resort. You'll find that monorails coming out of the resort are quite and running through the resort are quite a repeating motif here.
Even in the elevator, and we'll see that a little bit later on. This is one of my favorite spaces here. It looks like the family or the kids area. I like the mid-century modern look of it, and you actually have a tribute to Mary Blair here.
Right. I mean, the whole lobby is like a mid-century modern aesthetic. So here you see Mary Blair in front of the large mural that's on the 4th floor. And it's just, now they call it the Spirit of Peace Among Children. It didn't have a name before, but it's more of I read in the new Tim O'Day book that is a name for it. Some of this artwork was in the rooms in 1971. I first stayed at Disney's Contemporary Resort around 1980, so I don't know if it would have been in there at that time. You had bought a vase that has kind of that look to it. And here is that mural, the really iconic mural. The first time I went through the resort was in 1977 on a monorail. And, there's something about going through.
50 years later, still entertaining guests. It's wonderful.
And there is artwork here, a variety of artwork. Some of it is historic artwork. I think these pieces are probably more current.
And I like the picture that we're about to see here showing the Contemporary with the monorail in the background.
And the monorail there reminds me of the Hyperion Cafe at Disneyland Paris.
And this is a classic. This goes all the way back to, what, 1969?
1969. It's from Imagineer George McGinnis. And then, actually, that is George McGinnis. The other one's Ken Chapman, 1969 as well.
And I had never seen this image from the inside of the Grand Canyon Concourse.
No, neither have I. And so I assume that is also an older one. Here we see Disney's Contemporary Resort.
Construction.
And so this is from the Bay Lake side, though, looking toward the Seven Seas Lagoon. A lot of times when we see photos of the construction, it's from the front. But here it's from the back.
So what I found interesting is when we were there, they were doing some kind of test meals here at Steakhouse 71. And I asked, and I was able to go into the little entrance area and take some video of all the beautiful, beautiful artwork. And there's Walt recording his Epcot special. And there we see Roy Disney and Walt Disney walking the grounds that would later become Walt Disney World.
And Walt never saw it completed,
No.
unfortunately, and so that was he died in 1966 and in December of 66.
And Roy was hoping to retire, and he held off his retirement to get Walt Disney World open.
And on the left-hand side, you see Mark Davis and Rolly Crump, but I'm not sure what they're looking at. And you've got
Harriet Burns
Yes.
there, and I see John Hench, and I think that is
looks
Mark
like Mark
Davis
Davis
again.
again.
Yeah, so really a who's who of early Imagineers here for Walt Disney World. And of course, this was the Mickey Mouse Review, and it now has found its way back to Walt Disney World after going to Tokyo Disneyland.
Well, not the
while.
Mickey Mouse Review, but the
Those
characters.
though, just those 3 caballeros, yes.
Yes, the three caballeros. And then we have a monorail, and so we're getting to the point where we're seeing more of Disney's Contemporary Resort here.
I love the picture that we're about to see on the left. It's the Skyway, but no Space Mountain. So you have a perfect view of the Contemporary.
That to me, that's so weird. I mean, of course, I've always seen Space Mountain because I only started going in 77. So it's an interesting photo.
And here's a nice collage of opening day here. I love all of this. It's fantastic with the band and all the characters. And then you're going to see Roy, Roy O. Disney, giving the opening day speech, which was around 2 o'clock, I just learned. So that's the official time that this happened. And then this reminds me of Disneyland's opening day, except for there's no Walt. It's just Mickey on the train here. and then here is Roy Disney with the characters.
And you
front
know,
of the firehouse.
That big photo to the left, it's amazing, like when you look back at 1971 and how many cast members they would have had to have. And really, this area was just like orange groves.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how they got it. I remember doing an interview where we learned a little bit of that, and I totally forget now what they said. So here also, this past month, they added like a monorail design to the elevators.
So that was fantastic. I look forward to going back to the contemporary and continuing to see their updates.
And our last segment is on the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic, which is really my favorite food and wine event every single year. And we were able to preview it again this year. The event took a pause last year, but it's in its 12th year now. And it will run on October 29th and 30th from 5:30 to 9 p.m. This is always a rain or shine event. You may end up in the convention center if it rains. There's not only 20 plus food stations, including Shula's and Todd English's Blue Zoo, which usually I end up at Shula's a few times,
Yes.
but also over 100 beverage selections. And that includes champagne that we're looking at here, wine and beer. I ended up finding a champagne I really liked called GH Mum, and I was already looking at like where in France is it, and it's actually not that far to go to the champagne house.
The real one, yes.
Yes, it's like only like an hour via TGV outside of Paris. But we talked to food and beverage director Luciano Sperduto about the beverages here.
My name is Luciano Sperduto. I'm the director of food and beverage here at the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Resort.
But we're talking about the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic, which is coming back this year. And can you tell us about, there's so many different, we've got beers and we've got wines and champagnes and such. Can you talk about those?
Yeah, so we have a great selection of wine, beers, sparkling wine, champagnes. Just a little overview, some highlights for you. We have some specific areas like our beer garden, which is a local favorite for this event. When people come to the Food and Wine Classic, it is going to feature our locally brewed beer, the Fins and Feathers Ale from Lakeland, Florida, from the Brew Hub. And then we also have a limited edition IPA this year. That's our Fins and Feathers IPA that we only had 200 cases produced. So fantastic opportunity to try something limited. The Bubble Lounge is one of my favorite locations in the event. It has its own entertainment, and it's a different variation of sparkling wine, champagnes. One of the great selections we have in there is a GH Mum Rosé Sparkling. It's just something fantastic you'll be able to try here at the Food and Wine Classic. And then some of the wines, of course, all great, but we have a Chalk Hill Chardonnay, which is a really nice selection. My recommendation is, you take your time. The event is from 5:30 to 9 o'clock. Find some of your favorites and work your way through the event. You have plenty of time to try everything if you like.
Can you tell us about these wines here and what they might pair with? And
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of my favorite pairings are, I'd love to take this Penfold Shiraz and to actually take it over to the Smoke and D's barbecue station. Makes for a great pairing. You can always use the beer as well, but I love that as something a little bit different. This Italian rosé here, that the Torremesca, has little frizzante, pairs really nicely with our Amare station, which is the new station this year. That is a mahi-mahi dish that we really enjoy. Chalk Hill Chardonnay, a lot of people have had it, love it. It's their Russian River Sonoma representation, and this pairs really nicely. We have a salmon quinoa dish that is just excellent pairing for. And then, of course, we actually hand make all the agnolotti that are going to be served at the Omolino station, and nothing better than some Sangiovese to go with that Italian handmade agnolotti.
thank you very much.
So we're looking at the Fins and Feathers IPA Special Edition, only 200 cases, and I have one in our refrigerator right now.
Because they were like,
they gave
take
me
one home,
yes.
right?
It was really good. I enjoyed it. So I was very happy with that.
And there's a variety of different food items. Like I tried the poutine, you did not try that. And then you had the salmon, which I think was one of your favorite items here.
Yeah, I just forgot about the poutine. There was so much to try here. The salmon was excellent. And we're looking at the beef brisket. I think you did try the brisket.
I did. It was good. The Smoke and D's barbecue, while we're looking at this, the Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic is kind of a variety of different, some of it's all the restaurants of the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin, but they also have places like Smoke and D Barbecue, which it's not a restaurant at the Swan and Dolphin. It's not like Shula's. It's its own spot only for the Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic. So we've got poutine here. I'm trying to figure out which that comes from the Beer Garden, which again, not a restaurant at the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin. I enjoyed the poutine. It wasn't anything fancy. Really just like a comfort food type item.
And the grilled mahi-mahi I thought was excellent. I did try that. Look at that. Nice and juicy. Very, very tasty.
And that is from a restaurant at the Swan Reserve, which is not yet open. This fall, the Swan Reserve is supposed to be the third hotel here. It will be, you've got the Swan, Dolphin, Swan Reserve. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. You've got beef sliders here.
I think we both really like the bacon in the beef sliders.
That was my favorite. That was actually my favorite part.
Look at that thick bacon right there.
And that's from the Fountain Restaurant. And I had looked up, I have it in my article, what type of bacon it is. It was really a nice, the beef was great, but the bacon was
really
the best part of it. Yeah.
And it looks like we're pairing it with some champagne.
I think
probably the mum.
No, well, I don't know what you had. I only had the rosé, the GH Mum, and then there's croquetas. And this was not on. We've had this before at the Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic.
Oh, the corn?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I forget how you say it.
The vegetarian rice bowl was excellent. I was going to just take one of these. They're like, no. They made me fresh everything. It was nice and hot. It was delicious.
And I didn't even try that, and I should have. A friend said it tasted like seafood, and I don't.
No. He wasn't talking about that.
Oh,
I thought he was talking about the pasta.
Oh. Well, I didn't try that either.
So you missed out on that fabulous pasta. It was so good.
Well, hopefully, we'll go at the event. I will try it. So, while we're looking at this, Friday and Saturday nights don't have exactly the same menu. The Shula's always has the same menu from Friday into Saturday, but they don't all. So if you're going to book a day or an evening, and they usually do sell out, it's good to check online. They have the menus for both days.
So now we're looking at dessert here. This is the German chocolate cake, but the most important part, the melting of the chocolate.
And this is kind of their take on a German chocolate cake. The funny thing is, they're like, they're going to put, they mentioned fire.
Yeah, there wasn't really fire. It was more of a melting.
And I was off to the side, and I'm like, I figured I could be far away if there was fire, but there was no flame. So then there was bourbon apples with ice cream here.
Both fantastic, by the way.
They were both really good. The one thing about the desserts at the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic is that they tend to go quickly, so you don't want to wait till the very end of the evening. You can
start with dessert, no line.
And actually, that would be true. You wouldn't really have as much of a line at that time. So just don't wait till the end. There's going to be a line, and items will be no longer there.
So, believe it or not, that is another show.
That is another show, thanks to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Check them out. Go to their site. You can do a no obligation quote, and they can help you. They've been in business a very long time, and they are really, to me, the best in the business.
Yeah, Becky's in town, I'm sure, for the 50th anniversary. We'll be seeing her soon, no doubt, the next few days.
We're gonna see her next week at the dessert party.
That's right. That is true.
I cannot wait. There's so much going on. We're here this week. We're going to be celebrating 50 years of Walt Disney World. Between the two of us, we have been going for 94 years. Jeff 50 and me 44 years.
That's a lot of years.
It is a lot of years, and like a senior citizen, once we combine them. So we're really looking forward to that. I don't know what everything will entail. You're doing the media event. I don't think I'll be doing that with you. So I'm going to kind of run around the parks and check out the new confectionery.
Well, no matter what, October 1st, we will both be in the park together at the Magic Kingdom celebrating the actual 50th date. And I think I'm going to be around that flagpole at 2 o'clock because I figured out that is when the time of the actual dedication was. So that'll be nice to kind of head over there.
And then what?
I don't know. We'll find something to do.
We can see the cavalcades and stuff.
It's the Magic Kingdom. Yes, matter of fact, yes, there is a new 50th cavalcade.
Right. So I don't know if anything else will be changed on the cavalcades. Different characters, different character costumes. We'll find out.
We'll probably be finding a shaded bench after the 2 days leading up to that.
Well, you're especially...
You'll be running around too, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, on that first day, I'm going to really try to hone in on, 50th anniversary stuff and anything new. And just like we did yesterday, going to Disney's Contemporary Resort. And I'm glad we got that part out of the way because that was a lot. That lobby is great. But there's
so much history.
There's so much, right? So it took a little time.
So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week. We'll see you next week, and we'll celebrate 50 years of Walt Disney World.
Have a great week.